I mean, depends how fighting goes. But I don't know, man. It's kind of... I do love fighting. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it's my new... Like, my girlfriend,
I'm sure she hates it.
Yeah, you're never home, this and that. I'm like, listen, like, I got some stuff to take care of.
You are now tuning in to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real life.
I appreciate you for driving an hour to come here.
Yeah.
This is JT Stevenson. You reached out, what, it was like last year? It was like last year?
It was sometime last year.
And I've seen your shit pop up and stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, this would be a good dude to have on. And I had already set the schedule. I'm going to fit him in. So I'm glad that you came. I'm glad that we're able to schedule this. And so you do a little police work. So we got a common there.
Yep.
You do MMA. I did a couple AMI fights. So I don't do MMA, but I train jiu-jitsu. So another thing we got in common. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I grew up in Connellsville. If anyone knows where that is, you know where that's at.
Bro, if it's anywhere, if it's not Pittsburgh or the North Hills or the South Hills, I'm familiar with South Hills.
Right.
But like close to Pittsburgh. Anything else is just a blur.
It's just Fayette County. It's like a hick town, man.
I've heard of Fayette County.
Yes.
I've heard of Fayette County.
Whatever you hear is true. Like, sadly. It's very hickish, but it's wild, too. So, grew up there. I played high school football, baseball. That was, like, majority of my life was football and baseball.
Big sports guy.
Yeah. I wanted to wrestle, but my dad was like, he shut that down.
Oh, you're one of the first, MMA guys that come on here and it's like, they didn't start with wrestling. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, I started wrestling as a kid. I'm like, fuck, no wonder. That explains a lot. But
I tried, and he was like, you ain't doing that shit. I was like...
I feel like... I don't want to piss people off. I feel like football's more prone to injury.
Oh, yeah. You grew up here, right?
I grew up in Erie.
Erie. So, that quad A football, that shit was...
Dude, we had to play McDowell.
There you go. Yeah, we played them.
Destroyed us. Although on the 7-on-7 scrimmages preseason, we had them.
Right.
And then we put pads on, and the big boys got on.
Yeah.
We had a lineman who, not us, McDowell put a lineman in to run the ball, and the dude just we were like bowling pins, bro. He just knocked us all down. And then prep. We had prep, and prep was I think it was like 64 to 20 something. They just demolished us.
I think when I played, it was like McKeesport was good, Gateway was really good, North Allegheny.
Yeah, NA's huge. NA Pine Richland games, bro.
Yep.
Those things are wild. They're on the news.
Is that like a rival? Is that a rival up here?
I think they're rivals just because they're so close.
Yeah.
And they're both big schools, and a lot of talent comes out of them. So those games get heated, and they're always you see if you can watch a high school game on TV, it's a big game.
Yeah.
And those games are always on. It's wild, dude. Those kids, and they're kids.
Right.
You forget you see these dudes on TV, and you're like, these are kids.
Mm-hmm.
So you play football.
Yeah, baseball. Got recruited for baseball.
For college.
Yeah.
What college was that?
West Virginia Wesleyan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you play?
Nah, I'm not going.
I love baseball. That's my thing. Puerto Rican, so we gotta love baseball.
So I like baseball more because it's more mental, and it's definitely more mental than football. It's like a physical sport, you know.
It's more, yeah. It takes strategy. Although football now,
baseball, I'm not getting hit. I mean, by the ball, but you know.
What position did you play?
Center field.
Oh yeah. Right, so you're the runner. You're always bouncing around. I played shortstop. I played outfield a little bit. I don't know how dudes can be pitchers, bro. That ball comes back so fast.
I know.
It blows my mind.
I had friends I think my senior, they ended up getting Tommy John and shit. I'm like, man, there's no way.
Did you watch the video online where the dude threw the ball and his arm broke?
Blew out?
No, broke.
I've never seen that.
Break. And then they did the replay, and I guess every time you throw, your arm
kind of flicks.
Yeah, it's bro, shattered his arm.
I'm on doing that. Or that too, like when you throw it, like you're like defenseless when that ball comes out that bat. Like,
yeah, and then you see those plays where they like and catch it.
Yeah,
Like, dude, that was instinct. Like you didn't try it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I knew.
yeah, you just knew.
So how did sports influence you growing up? Like was that something? Like sports kept me out of trouble. Well, I still got in a lot of trouble, but it kind of was like Erie didn't have like a lot of programs and a lot of stuff for like youth, inner city kids. Like, yeah, I don't know, Fayette County. Like, was that something that kind of kept you guided, or?
So as a kid, like no one knows this story.
Oh,
so
Relentless exclusive.
So when I was like a kid, my mom put me in like gymnastics and shit. She didn't want me to play sports. Like I was dancing, doing like dance classes.
Oh, that's sweet though.
Yeah, and then I'd say like 3rd, 4th grade, like my grandpap was like very old school. He's like, listen, man, you're gonna play football. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm like, do you talk to my mom? I don't care. You're playing. I was like,
Hey, Pap
yeah,
says rules.
Yeah, I was like, all right. So I go out there. I never forget it. Like back then, like Pee Wee football was like full pads. Like we were hitting each other. I remember the first time I got hit, and I cried. I'd never been hit before. I was like, man, I'm done. And this dude walked out, grabbed me by the face mask, because I was talking back to him. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, my pap's very, like, old school. Like, you don't talk back to him. I'll never forget it. Like, he walked over, grabbed me by the face mask, and was like, you'll never talk back to me again. And then ever since then, I was like, well, if I quit, I'm going to get yelled at, you know.
That's fair.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll just play. Then gradually got better, you know. Then baseball kind of trickled in like 5th grade, you know. It kind of took a like little break there, see what I wanted to do, because I didn't know, you know. My parents like really weren't together growing up, so
Same.
So my dad was like, do this. My mom's like, no, you're gonna do this. So like, what do you do when you're a kid, you know? You're just like stuck in the middle.
Yeah, that's tough, man. And like, I kind of have that situation now. You know, my daughter's mom lives up in Erie. I live down here. So like co-parenting from
Yeah, it's tough.
2
man.
hours away. We manage it, but like a lot of other people I see, especially in the line of work we do, right?
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
main thing we deal with? Civil stuff, custody. Like,
Custody issues.
you're like,
yeah.
bro, you guys are children.
Yeah,
Like children raising children.
it gets petty too.
It gets tough. So
Yep.
yeah, being put in the middle of that's tough. So you were split between baseball and football?
Mostly, yeah, because like I fell in love with baseball. You know, it's just I loved the sport. It got boring at times, but I just loved the atmosphere and the sport.
I love opening day,
Yeah,
Pirates baseball. It's like, I almost cry. Like, here's the thing, I don't cry
Right.
ever.
yeah,
I go to a baseball game and I see like,
yeah.
it's like your inner kid comes out, you know. And I'm just like, and then you see the videos of like the fans. And the only reason I'm bringing this up because I just saw a post today where it was a Jeter moment where he was trying to give a baseball to a kid, and this like adult in front of this kid was like trying to get the ball. And people in the comments like, grow up. It's like, dude, like for a lot of people, this is their childhood moment. Like, I never went to baseball games as a kid. We couldn't afford it.
Right.
So, like, as an adult, I'm like living the moments out that I didn't have as a kid. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's not about grabbing the baseball. It's like, dude, this is from like my favorite player. Like, so there's a lot of emotions in baseball.
Right.
And I feel like football kind of has that if you're like a diehard football fan. But baseball's always been like it's America's pastime. You know, it's like you don't have to love baseball to go to a baseball game and like enjoy it. If you can go to a baseball game, you're gonna have fun.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, watching it on TV, most people won't. I do. Like, I'll be at bars.
If you know the sport, you watch it on TV.
Yeah, I'll be at bars just staring at the TV, and everyone I'm with just like, yep, he's checked out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like in the baseball, but
Like football is kind of. Steeler games are lit though.
I've been to one.
Yeah, they're pretty. If you go to the right game, like they're bumping.
So I went to one, and it was like pouring
Oh, you
and cold.
picked a battle.
I didn't have a choice, bro.
Yeah.
And then, but it didn't change anything for anybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's like shirts off. They're like screaming. Renegade didn't play. I guess
It didn't.
no, and everyone was like
Whoa.
upset about him. My
Yeah.
homie, I've had him on his podcast, Devin Siegfried, diehard Steeler fan, man. He was upset for me because Renegade didn't play.
It's definitely an experience.
I'm like, bro, like, it was a fun game. He's like, but they didn't play Renegade.
I'm not even a fan, and it's definitely an experience. So
I'm gonna have to catch the right game then.
got to go early, like when the season first kicks off, so you can enjoy it.
Tickets were like somewhat affordable at that time.
So I did Thursday night games. They're cheaper, so I did find that out.
I'm gonna have to write that in my book.
Yeah.
So you did sports. What would you get any jobs out of? You went to college. What'd you go to college for?
I went to college for initially nursing. I wanted to be a flight nurse. Yeah, that was my
Badass.
that's what I wanted to do. And then I remember doing a ride. So I wanted to be a flight nurse. And my mom was an EMT, so she was friends with like some of the constable cops. And you could do ride-alongs there when you're 18. So I was like, I'll do a ride-along, see what this police stuff's about, you know? So did a ride-along for a week and like fell in love with it. I'm like,
That was your calling?
that was my calling.
Was that like one of your first like
Yep.
jobs, big jobs,
What?
like policing?
No, first big job for me, I got into the oil field right out of like college. Cause I went to Westmoreland Community College because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Turned down baseball.
Turned down baseball. Well, I blew my knee out my senior year.
That'll do it.
So
That'll do it.
I was depressed and, I was like pretty down in the slumps. So
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Like, that's sports are a part of you.
Yeah.
Growing up, and then you get a big sports injury.
Mm-hmm.
Did that change like your direction of like sports and life, or?
So let me back up. Senior year football, we're playing Norwin. It's like in North Huntington, Norwin area.
Familiar.
Yep. I'll never forget it, man. I was blocking. Like me and my cousin played together. We were both running backs. It was like I'll never forget this play. It's stuck in my head. It was a jet sweep to the right, and I'm like stock blocking the corner, and like he threw a defender off his back right into my knee, and like I remember my kneecap just like dislocating and like turned to the side, and everything there just tore. And
Did you scream?
I was in tears. I was in tears.
Injuries,
Yeah.
shoulder injuries, like any joint like that.
Oh, it was horrible. And then we had a shitty trainer for Connors. Like his name's Mark the trainer. Like he ain't certified, man. You know what I mean?
They pulled that dude off the block. Like, hey,
pretty
put a shirt on.
much. And his remedies like ice and elevate. Like, bro, my shit's fucked
That was
up.
like first week of training school, and then he.
So like I go over to the sideline. Like by this time my knee's swelling up. I'm like, there's something wrong. He's like, no, you're fine. So he gives me. This is the crazy part. Knee's blown out. I know it's blown out. He gives me like a knee sleeve. Okay. And he's like, go back in there. So I go back in for like 2 or 3 more plays, and like I catch a pass, and I with the cut I fell, and I'm like, I'm done. Like it's.
How'd you, like how even stepping on it, bro? Like
There was like nothing there. It was like Bambi legs. I would step it, but just shake. And I think it was just adrenaline. Then once it wore off, man. Whew.
yeah, and you don't want to be like, I can't go in. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess.
Head coach is begging me to go back in. I'm like,
Were you like the player?
my senior year, yeah, that's what it was.
We had a couple of those guys. Like, I played both sides of the ball in special teams, but like,
Yeah.
if I'd be like, yo, they'd pull me out, sub me, no problem. We had a running back. Our quarterback played safety, and he let him because he was like one of those dudes.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if he gets injured, we're done. Like, our backup quarterback, you don't let him get reps.
Right.
So you're going to put this dude in there never repping it. Like, even in practice, he would watch him. And it's like.
I never got a break my senior year.
That's crazy.
Kickoff return, punt, corner, and running back.
All the high
And kickoff.
intensity
Yeah. I was like,
positions.
I don't get a break. I was like, you're literally. Then we'd play, and I'd get the ball every play. I'm like, dude, I'm getting destroyed. Like, my key sport. Like, I never got hit so hard in my life. Like, I literally thought my heart stopped. This kid from Texas, he committed to Texas Tech. He hit me so hard. I was like, man, fuck this. Like, it's just not worth it.
Makes a reality check happen.
Yeah.
So you blew your knee out.
So, remember the team, Norwin. Blew me out against Norwin. Senior year of baseball. Play Norwin. Their whole team's Division I. Like, there's no weak links. So they had a D1 pitcher. I got a nice hit off him to like right center. I'm running to first base. Step on first base. Hamstring blows out. Same leg I fucked my knee up on.
With the same team.
Yep.
They're bad juju, bro.
It was. then
Bad juju.
ever since then, I was just like, my love for sports kind of like deteriorated a little bit because I'm like, I'm tired of these injuries because they're like long.
They're debilitating.
Yeah.
Debilitating?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the word? I speak 2 languages, so yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, it's depressing because like you do it around summertime. I don't have a normal summer because I'm in PT like every other day. You know, I'm doing all this treatment, trying to make summer ball, you know, play some travel ball. Didn't work because hamstring's so fucked up. And there's no surgery for that. Like you gotta do the therapy. You have no choice.
Yeah, you have to build it back up,
Yeah.
essentially.
So did that. And then a lot of my friends, like this is when like the oil field was really big. I just remember that time. It's like 2013, 2014. So they were making like crazy money and I'm 18. I'm like, shit. So I went and worked there. My mom's like, you ain't gonna like it. You're out of town. Like you're a homebody. I'm like, man, you give me a check for $3,000, I'll go work anywhere.
Was it like on the rigs? Like you would go out, or was it like drilling?
It was like,
I don't know a lot about the oil industry.
it's called fracking. So like we would go to like pads and like stay for like 3-4 weeks at a time, then come home in hotels.
I know a couple buddies who do that stuff.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's at 18.
Yeah.
It's almost like how long were your days?
17, 18 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say 10, 12.
No.
I was about to say 18. I was about to say 18 years old. You're making money. You're traveling. Like that can be seen as a good thing.
It was.
Like every time I go out of town or to a bar or something, I always run into like oil guys and they're like wild dudes, and I'm like, oh man, that's the life.
So it's funny you say that because I worked with some of my high school friends on there, and like, bro, they were wilding.
Yeah.
I was like, they had like fake IDs and shit. They're going out, and I'm like, man, I can't be doing that. I get in trouble, my mom will kick my ass. So I'm like, I'm just chilling in the hotel room. Y'all do what you want. So like, we go to like work the next day. They're barely making it in.
Dude,
Like,
struggling. And that's like a labor-intensive field.
Yeah. Yep.
It blows my mind with dudes like that who they'll just back into shape.
Yeah, they get back like 5 in the morning, but we got to be there at 7. They're still like, you get to smell it on them.
That's why my gas is so high.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but now like, I did that till like, I started like July 2013 till like November, because like that's when like the oil field started taking a decline. So like then like November came and I was like, you know, gotta do something. And did that ride along type thing. Then went to the academy, municipal academy. Did that.
How was your experience with the municipal academy?
I mean, I was nervous at first, and then I get there and it's just like, I was reporting for class, like high school class every day. It's pretty much what it was.
I like growing up, I always had like an interest, but I was like, there's no way I could ever be a cop. Like my family history, my history, like no way.
Yeah.
And then I long story short, I signed up for the academy. I've told the story more times, so I'm gonna spare the people. But I get this. I want to try it. I'm working highway construction at this time, and I go to the academy. I was like, I'm just gonna keep my head down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna do what needs to be done. And our first day, the good friend of mine now, he walks in late. I remember I'm sitting there like this.
First day,
we're all on our desk and we're waiting.
Yeah.
The instructor comes in. We all stand up. You know, He walks to the front, turns around. The other dude walks in, just stops in the back. And he goes, what time are you supposed to be here? And the dude just looks at him, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, drop. And I'm like, damn, this is about to be what? And then it ended up being like,
Yep.
you know, you're there, you're like, oh, this is like college, except we have to exercise and call him sir and stand up every time he walks in the room.
I think it was weird. It was like my first day, like, they showed some like police videos of like shootings and stuff like that. And like 5 people just stood up and walked out.
Oh, see, ours was different. There was like what it means to be a police officer, right? So it's supposed to get you emotional and stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool, I could do this. Like, I like talking to people. I'm very personable. I can do this. Dude, like month in or a couple weeks in, I get promoted to class captain.
Oh man,
I'm like, damn.
Did you get voluntold or did you do it?
So, our captain was he was from the Coast Guard, and
Did you guys like march and stuff?
oh yeah, we did all that. So he was from the Coast Guard. He was an older dude, typical like, I know it all. I'm gonna say, you know, and I like, and they always ask who has military experience, and you know we all raise our hand. Who has the most military experience? Okay, boom, you're the class captain. This dude was nothing against the Coast Guard, but like never been deployed, never anything like that. But you would talk to him and you would think this dude was like black ops. I'm like, bro,
It's Coast Guard.
yeah, and not even that. It's like, you don't even carry yourself appropriately. Well, we're going over PFA stuff.
Oh man.
See, this is a story they never heard, so they may like this. We're going over PFAs and what it means and all this stuff.
Hate those things.
Anyone have any questions? Only one. I'm like,
Yep.
of course, he always has questions. Stands up, he goes, I don't get how people can abuse the system, abuse the PFAs. Like women could just say this and just get PFAs on guys. And we're all like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, he was so pressed.
Right.
You know, whatever they're like, that's not what it's for. Like, they go over it again. He's like, he sits down. He's like, bothered, bro. We go on a break. We're in the bathroom, and there was a little rat in our
Every class, man.
There was
Every
a rat.
class.
So we're in the bathroom peeing, and that captain comes in. He's like, my wife's put 2 PFAs on me, and we're just like, and then you can see the rat. He was in the back waiting for you know. He literally just backs out the door, walks out, and I saw it. I'm like,
you gotta tell.
yeah. I'm like, one, how the fuck did you get in here with 2 PFAs?
Exactly.
2,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
No, he's out of there for sure.
So he leaves. The next day we have DT, and an instructor who's no longer an instructor. Love the dude, but he's done. He comes up to one of the guys. He's like, hey, we're doing like slams or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to put it on him.
Wait,
Told this guy
yeah.
to put it on the captain. Bro, the captain dislocates his shoulder. Right there, they come to me and they're like, hey, come here. I'm like, boom. He's like, hey, so we don't have a captain anymore. I like your style. I like the way you lead. I'm like, I'm trying not to say anything.
Right.
He's like, we kind of like how you are. You want to be captain? And I go to talk. He's like, you're the captain. Pick a sergeant. I'm like, yes, sir. And they pick the dude up. He's like, go sit over there. Go sit over there. And dude's like dislocated shoulder. He just sits down. Like, damn. They drove him out. And then I guess they talked to him about this PFA stuff. And he was like, you're done.
Yeah.
So that's how I was promoted to captain, by injury, I guess.
Yeah, you know that. We didn't march in my municipal academy.
Oh, we had to do the flag.
Nope.
Every morning. Salute the flag. Let it come up. We had a little boom box. We had to play the
you had to carry a
national anthem, yeah, as it's going up. Like,
yeah, like what do they call that, morning colors or something?
Yeah, dude, I'm like, then, so I was like familiar with my position. So now I had to like march outside of the formation and like get everyone. I'm like, dude.
You had to lead them, right?
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, like if I take a step, everyone's gonna go. Like,
yep,
it's stressful. But
then you got to deal with the class issues everyone has.
Luckily, everyone became friends, so we're like a tight knit group, and we just kind of they like hashed everything out themselves. But municipal academy was not. I also went to basic, so I was going in there like
right. You think it's gonna be like basic?
It's gonna be like basic, and then I go in here, I'm like, oh, this ain't too bad.
Watered down basic.
Yeah, what? That's exactly how I describe it.
Yeah.
So you went to the municipal academy.
Mm-hmm.
You land a job.
Yep.
Because of that ride along.
Yeah.
And
my first job ever was Southwest Regional Department. It was in Bell Vernon. And so one of my instructors was the chief there. And I was like, I scored really well on the test. And like the day of graduation, he's like, do you want a job? Well, back then, like, you just want to get your number, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like, get my number, get some experience. And like, obviously, I'm not going to stay there. He knew that.
But that's cool that you had one right out of the academy because a lot of people, like, don't.
No.
Like, I was fortunate enough that I was approached while in the academy by one of the instructors, like, hey, we want you. Like, put in the test, like, test high, So like I was fortunate too, but a lot of people in my academy class aren't even cops anymore. One got arrested for trying to steal a cop car.
Actually, I have a funny story about that. Not that.
I was going to say another one.
No. But a guy in my academy class. I'll never forget this, man. We're like 2 weeks from graduation. Him and his, I don't know, wife, fiance are having some issues. So I guess she has a side boyfriend or something like that. I think they were swingers. I can't prove it, but that's what I think. So
Swung the wrong way that time.
yeah, so some beef happens. Side boys texting him or this girl. So I guess, he recorded a video, some extracurricular activities between him and the girl, and sent it to him. And
She said I was better. No, she said I was better.
she called the police. Next thing I know, I come into class and I'm looking at my phone. There's his mugshot on KDK for, revenge porn. I'm like, I just talked to dude yesterday. Like, it was wild. Then they let him come to class while this is going on. I'm like, they let him finish.
So here's the thing people don't understand about municipal academies. Well, some of them.
Yeah.
Like, especially if they're connected to a college. Mine was.
Mine was too.
Like,
Yeah.
they're getting paid.
Yep.
Like, they're going to give you your number, and then they're going to blackball you.
Yep.
Like, you're going to pass, and people are like, oh, they passed it.
Because it's through a college.
It's through a college. Like, you're going to pass, but you're never going to get a job. Or if you get a job, it's like a 2-man department, and they're like, worse. Yeah. So, like, it's tough. Like, I can see both sides of the coin, but, like, you're also, like, you still have to pass the state test.
Yeah.
So you don't have your number. You just.
So when you went through for like military, did you get a waiver for some things? Like I remember he was military and he got a waiver for a lot of stuff.
Bro, I went through college, so I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in college, and there was some financial aid. I didn't use all of it.
Right.
So I got my degree in college, and then they told me, oh, you can use I forget what the heck the aid was, but they're like, you can use that aid, and I'm like, I don't have to pay for this out of pocket. Like, dope. All right, I'll sign these papers. Yeah. So I just went through that. But there was a couple guys who used GI Bill.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, they used their GI Bill. There was a little Asian dude who ran like a 4-minute mile. His GI Bill didn't even go through until like graduation. He had issues with it the whole time. They're like, we'll figure it out. So yeah, a couple people used the GI Bill to get through that.
That's wild.
I wonder where that dude's at right now.
That's fast.
I ain't never heard of that dude. I've never seen him or heard since the academy.
Out of my class, I think there was 32. 4 of us are only ones that work. So
yeah, that sounds about right. And most of them like fall out, quit.
I'm the type of person, like, I'm not doing 6 months just to not try to work,
That's what I tell people. They're like, oh, I need a job. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna pick policing for just a job, I don't care where you work, you're never gonna get paid enough. Like, don't even get into it.
Right.
Like, but it's $100K or $80K. Like,
there's a lot of BS that comes with that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, this is not a job.
Yeah.
You just do.
Right.
And I'm sure you've worked with those individuals that come on and they treat it like a 9 to 5.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, and that blows my mind. I'm like, bro, like, you're expected to go home.
Right.
You're responsible for the people to your left and your right. You don't train. You don't go to the range. You go home, you watch TV, you go to sleep, you wake up, you come to work, and that's a repetitive cycle.
I think that's a big thing too. Is like a lot of cops don't train, man. They
don't. Speaking of training, what led you into MMA? Especially with the injuries and like that's a big like.
Yeah.
The reason I don't fight anymore, like, competitively, I blew out my shoulder in high school.
Yeah.
Then the military gave me so much shit for it. Like, I was supposed to deploy. It didn't let me deploy. Oh, you got to do a year. I'm like, my whole unit's deploying, and you're going to tell me now, after I've been PTing with everyone, and I can't go?
That's wild.
Dude, I said some things.
Yeah.
They said, hey, how about this?
Yeah.
You can go, and that's it. No issues. And I'm like, you're firing me from the military? No one gets fired.
Yeah.
Like, so just imagine what was said.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, when I'm rolling in jiu-jitsu and stuff, like, it'll start clicking again. I'm like, well, last time that happened, I was in the hospital, so let's not do that. So like, these injuries play a psychological
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. But
and then you decide to do MMA.
yeah, it started off jiu-jitsu. I'm still only a white belt, but off and on jiu-jitsu since like 2020.
I like how people say only a white belt. I said that to a black belt, and dude laid into my ass.
Well, some people, that means stuff to some people.
Nah, dude.
I'm just there to learn to get better. Like, doesn't matter what color belt I am. So 2020, off and on, you know. And then competitive fighting, I just jumped into it last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I texted him. I never forget. I texted my friend. I was like, I think I want to fight because he trains. He's been trained as a black belt, and he's had a couple fights under his belt. I was like, hey man, I think I want to fight. He's like, all right, show up Saturday morning. Then they put me through this rigorous workout. Like we're already sparring. I think it was just a test, you know, like just really want to do
I
it.
kind of see where you're at.
Yeah.
Your mind.
Yeah, and I was like getting tagged, you know, I was throwing up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm getting off the couch going to spar, and at this time, like I'm like 186 pounds, so I'm pretty heavy. Now I fight 140.
That's a big boy, yeah.
Now I fight 145.
Is that your walk around weight?
185.
Yeah. Or did you build up to that?
I built up to that. Yeah.
What made you get into jiu-jitsu?
Work.
Because especially back in the day, or not back in the day, but like people don't just do jiu-jitsu. Now I feel like people are more open to try it. Like you started jiu-jitsu because of work.
Yeah.
That's why I started, honestly.
Because I always thought like with all that gear on, if I'm on my back, like it could be a bad day very fast. Like fast.
That's why people who don't train, cops who don't train, give jiu-jitsu shit.
All the time.
And I'm like, bro.
I get to work all the time.
Like they're like, oh, I'll just shoot him.
Yeah, try that.
I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
no, like, and we do the scenarios. So I'm like, all right, cool. Here's a scenario. Me and you are talking. I'm upset, and I grab your sweatshirt. Can you shoot me?
No,
No. You have to go hands on.
you're forced to.
What are you about to do? Tell me to get back? No, I just made the decision to put my hands on a cop. You think
Right.
I'm listening to you? Oh, get back. Oh, sorry, sir.
Yeah,
No, there's a point in time where you got to get hands on and you don't train. So now what? You don't know how to control a human being.
right. I'll never forget when I said I was gonna fight like people I thought were my friends. Like they were laughing at me, like, "Yeah, you don't have it," you know. I'm like,
That.
yeah. So obviously, I had 3 fights so far. My first one, my dumbass didn't eat before the fight, so when I had adrenaline dump, it was over for me. You know. Second fight, before the fight, I broke my foot. A lot of personal stuff going on, which we'll get to, and mentally wasn't there. Third fight, no injuries in training camp. Mental was on point. Like felt good. Like I wanted to be there. Felt perfect. Got my first win. So it's definitely fighting, at least amateur. The whole thing. It's like it's a journey. Like you're gonna lose. You're gonna win and lose. It's part of fighting. Like I'm not Floyd Mayweather or anyone like that. Like Khabib. Khabib would have stayed long. He probably ended up losing too. Like
Well,
it
and
just,
that's the thing people don't understand.
just
Like,
happens.
especially with MMA, it's so it's so nuanced. Like
Yeah.
me and you can have the same body, the same record. Look what just happened with. Did you watch the last 247
Yeah. I had friends on that card. Yeah.
with Mateo?
Yeah, I was really shocked by
Bro,
that.
like
Yeah.
both dudes, awesome fighters.
Yeah.
Mateo's
Big boy, man.
motherfucker's huge,
Yeah.
bro, huge. But so is the other dude. But like, you got those two dudes there. It can go anyway.
Yeah.
Mateo gets a good hit,
Yeah.
or the dude, the anaconda roll. Like,
Yeah.
no one fucking saw that coming.
I saw
that. I
you
was
and me
like-
both. You and me both.
I said, what?
Yeah.
That's got to be a first for 247. I don't know if that's been done before, but I'm like you don't expect that. But MMA is so it can go either way.
Right.
So like you decide to do MMA, was that like I want to fight, like competitively, or this is I want to train fighting?
Not competitively.
You knew off the bat
Just
that
that.
that's what you want to do.
Just like
try it.
I needed that competitive in my life. Like when I don't have it, then like kind of like depressed a little bit. Like lifting weights only get you so far.
Whoa, let's not knock the lifting weights. That's my special.
You know what I mean. Like I just need that.
No, that
The
fire,
drive.
that
Yeah.
because it kind of checks you, right? Like you can't slack off, or you're gonna
Right.
pay a consequence.
But it also losing those two, like that, like humbled me in a lot of ways. Like
How'd you gear up for your first fight?
What'd you say?
How'd you like get ready for your first fight? Because that's got to be a lot. Like,
Yeah, it was very fast too. It was very fast.
I threw up before my first fight.
I didn't even eat.
I threw up what I ate. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And like, people don't understand. I always fought growing up.
Right.
Like I fought probably every day, and that's not an exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the street, and street fighting is nothing like
No, but people
equate it.
they think it
Yeah.
is. Like, I have some people like, oh, we could fight or something. I'm like, nah, man, we're not street fighting. Like,
I'd rather not.
yeah.
Because then I unlock
Yeah.
my playbook.
Right.
But so I was one of those dudes though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% transparency. I fought every day. A buddy of mine who I worked with was like, bro, like you want to come to the gym and train? Like,
Yeah.
it'll stop you from fighting out there. I promise you. Because I was just getting in trouble, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, and I told him, I was like, I'll fuck anybody up in your gym. And he like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
bro.
Fresh meat coming in there.
And I went in, but I know when to close my mouth, so I go in, I'll say nothing. Hey, this is my boy. He wants to train a little bit. Da, da, da. And they're like, hey, you ever fought before? If it being who you are now, all your life experiences,
Yeah.
if you've never fought competitively, someone asks you, hey, do you have a lot of experience in jiu-jitsu? What are you gonna say?
No.
They're like, yeah,
Decent.
I train.
Yeah.
Like, dude asked me, you ever fought before? Yeah, I fought before. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you asking me if I fight every day, bro. You don't know nothing about I didn't say all that, but in my head, I'm like, do I fight?
Right.
He's like, oh, cool. All right, get in the cage. We'll get you sparring with one of our guys and see where you're at. Got destroyed. I was humbled immediately.
Yeah.
Like, and it was embarrassing because I come out. He's like, I thought you said you fought before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, in the street. He's like, oh, no, you should have told me that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, it's a whole different world.
I think people only see like clips of training or like what people like. I post them sometimes, hitting mitts and stuff, but like you got to come to the gym and actually see what goes into it. Like just because it's amateur fighting, like I put a lot into it. Like you got to train, spar, cut weight. I cut like 20 pounds just to get to fight weight. You know, so like there's a lot that goes into it. My first one, I would say coming down. Figure I was 186. I fought 155 my first fight, so it came down a lot.
What made you pick that weight?
The weight, cause I was 186.
I mean, it's a big,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
it's a big bracket to jump into, but
Just because of my height, you know, being 5'6", the lower the weight you are, the more I'm gonna fight someone my size,
Yeah.
which is nice. First fight, dude's like 6'1". I'm like, come on, man.
so he has a reach on you.
Yeah, so like,
So like, what's that feeling going into the ring? Like,
uh,
it's your first fight. You see this dude, he's towering over you.
yeah. I mean, my first instinct's like, I'm not gonna try to stand with this dude because I'll just beat down to his punches. And I'm not Mike Tyson yet. The bottom will even get my little ass in there. So,
Yeah, I mean, you're new to the sport.
Right. So grappling, wrestled the whole time. That's more or less what it was. Then that ultimately led to me gassing myself out because that's just exhausting. Like, that's the most humbling thing, I think. You think you're in shape, go roll on a mat for 20 minutes. Then you're
Roll
like,
on the mat and then add adrenaline, constant
Yeah.
adrenaline dumps. You
Yeah.
know, and I think that's the beauty of amateur. You have to. There's a lot of discipline that needs to be
Yeah.
established. Discipline in cutting weight.
Right.
Discipline in your training regimen. Discipline in nutrition. That's
Yeah.
something people.
I actually had to get a nutritionist because I didn't know what I was doing.
So I didn't do it. I didn't do
Yeah.
that. In my first fight, I felt the Burger King leaving my body.
Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah, well, like, and I cleaned
Yeah.
up my diet,
Right,
but like, I'm on Google how to get
Yep.
ready for my first MMA fight. You know, the coach I had he was a street coach. He just came in on his own time, so like, I respect what he was doing, but like,
Right.
he's not pouring himself into his fighters. So like, I did research on my own. I'm just like, oh, okay, I got to eat this many calories. It didn't tell you like the type of food you should be eating at this point in your training. And,
Right.
you know, as you get closer, add this. So you drop water, like, and even cutting weight which I didn't have to cut weight because I was $140, but
Right.
building a weight to then cut to a healthy.
Yeah, and that was
Weight.
the first time I cut weight, like in my life. First time I ever cut weight, and like, I felt dead. the day before, like weigh-ins, I was going into the fight, like my resting heart rate the night before was like high. I'm like, it's not gonna be a good day tomorrow. I can just tell from that.
You think that could have been from like
Dehydration.
nerves too, a little bit?
Dehydrated.
Dehydrated?
Heart's just pumping. You know.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So then you lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy to discourage people. That's easy to go, man, this ain't for me.
Then I live in a small town, so there, everyone's chirping.
So what made you keep with it?
The drive. It's a journey. I'm not gonna quit, Once I start something, I'm gonna finish it till the end goal, Second fight, lost again. Got my nose all smashed in, had to get that fixed.
Okay.
Broken foot.
Why didn't you quit? Yeah, dude, see, another injury.
Yeah.
So like
I fought on a broken foot. Don't ever do that. You're so limited to what you can do.
I can imagine. Usually carries your weight, good strikes. Yeah.
Yep. It's terrible.
Why would you do that?
Because training put me in a good mental space, win or lose. I can have a bad day at work, go train, I'm good.
You felt like I can push through.
I felt, this might sound weird, like being in that cage, I just felt free in a way. Like nothing else matters. I can just focus on.
I know what you mean.
What's
man.
a task?
Once I got the first fight jitters out of the way,
yeah,
like it is freeing because you're just like,
like
I believe we all have an animalistic instinct in us.
right.
Let me caveat, we all don't, because there's groups of people who are
yeah.
I think the type of people who push themselves and want to better themselves and train, like, there's this fire that burns in us to that we're holding in.
Yeah.
And MMA is boxing.
Yeah.
Any combative sport, even any combative sport where you have to inflict damage on someone.
Right.
Like it's like holding the floodgates open. Then when you step in that ring, it's like boom, let it go.
Yep.
Like it's hard. Like, and I only did 3 fights, so I don't even feel qualified to talk on this.
Right.
But I was 140 pounds, so I'm 230 now.
Right.
A little bit, so it's been a while.
Yep.
But I just remember that feeling of like I would just feel like something download and leave, and then something upload.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it.
I think it hits me like when you're in the cage, it locks, and you're just staring across.
How loud does that sound?
The cage?
When it locks.
Sounds loud. And then you don't even hear the crowd. Everyone's like, do you hear us yelling? I'm like, I didn't hear nothing. Like, you're just, when you're in that cage across from someone that high is something you never felt before. It's just like, I'm about to go to war with this dude.
How did you have a corner for those fights?
Yeah.
How was it for you because the crowd you said you don't hear.
Yeah.
Like, how do you focus on the task at hand, defending yourself, being offensive, and then having the focus on your cornerman?
Really, first fight, really didn't hear him too much, which I go back and watch, and they were screaming. I just blocked them out. More nerves,
Yeah.
Second fight, I wasn't healthy, so whatever they were saying, I wasn't doing because I was kind of limited. I didn't tell them how hurt I was the second fight. I didn't tell my foot was as bad as it was. Kind of want to pull out.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's the people you do tell them.
Yeah.
They're gonna, if you tell them, hey, I'm hurt, this is what I'm feeling, these are my symptoms, but I'm sticking through with this.
Right.
They can develop a game plan for you to work with that.
Yeah.
But I get it, man. It's your second fight. You're like, nothing's keeping me out of there.
No.
And then your third fight comes. How'd you prep for that? Was there anything different that you did?
Just mental. Focus on my mental. Train more. I finally figured out my weight class. 145 is where I wanted to be. So after that second fight, I didn't let my weight get too high. So I had to cut that much. That helped. The night before that third fight, resting heart rate was 45, 50. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel good. Feel real good. So fight night, I was back up to 164. So felt really good. And then sometimes I watch some crazy stuff before I go fight that just gets me hyped up. So I'll never forget being in the back. I had my rice cakes and honey for my, my energy. I'm back there munching on them, getting wrapped up, and I have my AirPods in. Did you ever watch American Psycho?
Not the whole way.
Not the whole way?
No.
But he talks about like his mask of insanity about to slip. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my gosh. You're
Yeah.
not, I thought you were gonna say like
Nope. So like I watched that. I was like, fuck it, let's go. That just amped me up, and I went out there and just did it.
How'd you win? Decision?
Yeah.
How was that? You're just sitting
man.
there, you're waiting.
I knew, talking to my corner, I was like, I in my mind, I'm like, I did enough to win. Like, I'm not even really stressing it. Like, I know I won. So.
When you say you won, was it like, were you striking more? Were you the more aggressive?
More aggressive striking. Like, I'd tag him and he'd take me down. Like, he didn't want to stand with me. So, I just knew. I reversed him every time he took me down. I finished every round on top, so I knew, like, I won. Like, that's all the judges are going to look for, who's on top at the end. At least PA. Like, if you finish on top, you have a good chance of winning.
Well, PA's heavy wrestling.
Yeah, it's heavy wrestling.
So, like...
Favors the wrestler.
Yeah, favors the wrestler. Mm-hmm. And then you can go somewhere, like, down south.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Have you ever fought out of state?
No, I plan on staying for 247. Like, their promotion's blowing up.
Dude,
it's for regional guys like us, like, I told Hunter, like, it's
like an incubation.
Prime. Yes.
Like, you put the work in, and it's the perfect lab to, like,
right in the backyard
test.
Yep.
Because it's one thing to, like, train hard with your partners. At the end of the day, those are your partners. There's always that psychological barrier.
Yeah.
Or going to another gym.
Right.
And less respect, but there's still respect there.
Right.
You go in that ring, it's like, hey, we both are in the same understanding that it's all go.
Yeah.
Until the bell rings
and
the hand's lifted or someone taps, like, it's all go.
Mm-hmm.
Huge place to test yourself.
Yeah.
247 has been taken off.
And it's huge. Like, for regional MMA, like, it's the next big thing coming, no doubt.
They just got that building.
I know. There you go. That's what I mean. Like, there's going to be events all the time now, which is huge.
And so, being a cop, how do you balance?
Oh, man.
Like,
I know my job hates me changing my schedule all the time, but
that's tough.
It's tough.
Because you have a fixed schedule. They expect you to be there.
It's tough because there are certain classes, like, I have to be at. Like, no-gi, got to be there. Wrestling, got to be there. Then my boxing coach, Chris Williams, like, we do privates, so I got to work around that too, so I got to balance my schedule. Or I'll just get off work, fly down to Pittsburgh, get a session with him, go back home.
You drive to Pittsburgh to train.
Yeah.
You're out of the shop, right?
Well, I just switched gyms. Yeah. For
my bad.
Now, for reasons we'll discuss off this.
You should have.
No. I still talk to them.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, can you talk about what gym you're at?
The Stoic Grappling Club.
Okay. Where's that located?
It's in Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have to drive down there. Do you live like close?
It's 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, 50. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's not too bad then.
But I still work with Chris, so I still drive down like West Mifflin area. But it's the best training, so I got to find it,
Is there a ritual you do before you train? Like, do you get into a space, or just like you show up and do what needs to be done? Like,
just show up, do my normal warm up. Just
you warm up.
Yeah, you got to warm up, man.
Talk to the purple belts because they don't think that's true. They just show up and do what they want.
Yeah, but that's how you get hurt.
Yeah,
gotta warm your muscles up.
Do you have a normal warm up routine?
Just make sure my shoulders for sure, because that's the first thing I feel like. I popped my shoulder twice grappling, so make sure those are warmed up. Just like a general stretch.
Body movement, body stretches.
I jog, get the blood flowing, get a little sweat going, I'll stretch. Yeah.
Okay. What you said you get into this mental space.
Yeah.
How do you is that something you use for off MMA too? Like life problems?
Life, job experiences, stuff you see on the job.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like what you deal with. A lot of people don't understand that,
How do you what do you need to do, like, to ground yourself? What's your method of grounding? Do you have something you do?
No.
Like I know for me, I need like drives, like
Drives.
are huge
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
man.
Drives are good. That's why I like to drive to Pittsburgh, because that hour drive puts some tunes on.
Yeah, people don't understand that. For me, like, there's two me's, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the I'm blasting music,
Right.
windows are down, I don't
Yep.
care how many, like,
Yep.
and I'm singing and I'm going, I'm looking at people in traffic. There's that me,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's dead silence
Yeah.
and just drop. Bro, one day I ended up in Buffalo,
Just driving.
Just
it happens,
driving.
though. Like, if it's good for you.
just driving.
Yeah.
That's like a 3-hour drive.
Right.
I was like,
Sometimes you need it, though.
I literally saw the sign for Buffalo, and I was like, that's weird that there's a sign so far out this way telling us where Buffalo is. And then it was a sign for Niagara Falls. I'm like,
You're chugging along.
well, I pulled to the side. I'm like, maps. I'm like, dude,
Oops.
I'm in Buffalo, bro.
Yeah. Definitely drives.
I started driving.
Right. Nothing wrong with that, though. But I would say definitely drives, and I try to leave work at work. I think a lot of people in our profession fell doing that. They bring in their home life. Like, I don't try to do that.
You
know?
separate work and home.
You have to.
It's tough for some people.
It is tough.
But there's people who that's their identity.
Funny you say that, because I work with a lot of people like that.
Tell me about that. Like how
Yeah.
do you manage that environment?
It's tough because their egos are as big as this room. You can't tell them anything. You know, like, these are the same guys that make fun of me for fighting. And I'm like, once that uniform's off, who are you?
Yeah, like what do you do?
You know?
People
They're the same guys that their wives and kids hate them. So they're always at work.
Dude, that blows my mind when I'm at work, and I work with a good group of guys and girls, but we cross train, you know, a lot of neighboring departments, and we talk, you know, and you know, people come up, man, like, fuck, what these damn kids. Like, I take
It's
overtime,
crazy.
so I'm like, bro, that's your offspring.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I know you're not like that at work.
Right.
I could just imagine how it is at home now. Like, that's crazy. How you treat your coworkers.
That's how you are now.
That's it's like you bring that home.
Or vice versa. Terrible home life, you bring it to work, and then it trickles down on your coworkers. You're making everyone miserable around you. Morale sucks because you're miserable.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. And then you have the guys who have terrible home lives, and then they come, and it's like a switch, and they're like,
And they're always your
awesome.
supervisors.
Yeah, and you're like, why don't you take that back?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in your business, but like, why don't you take that back?
Right.
Dude, if you don't have a good support system, do you like,
Funny you say that
especially for MMA?
For fighting, yeah. If I didn't have my parents and my girlfriend, or like my friends, like
You're by yourself.
like real friends or my coaches, like, there's no way I can go in there.
No, that's friends.
Yeah.
There's no real friend.
I get what
Either
you're saying.
Friends, or you're
Friends.
someone I know.
Okay.
I say that because I grew up, bro. I had people who would die for me.
Right.
Who would die for me? I would be like, yeah, I can be like, go give me a Sprite from CVS. No questions.
Mm-hmm.
The day I decided to become a cop,
Oh yeah.
Gone.
Funny how that works, right? Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, like I thought we was tight like that. Nah, bro, you.
Yep.
I'm like, for someone who complains about the police a lot, and someone I try to come in and do something different, like
Yep.
be a part of the solution,
Yeah.
and you quick to write me off. Like you don't want a solution. You just want to be hate. You just want to hate. You just want to be miserable.
I got it really bad. Especially like just being from like a minority community.
Yeah.
Where, like, man, I get it worse, to be honest with you. Like, people come at me hard.
Bro, I grew up Lower East Side of Erie.
But you know, like, yeah.
you know, a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of blacks, a lot of Africans, Iraqis, like
Yeah.
like even white people, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
you grew up in the hood, in the ghetto, like
Right.
you create a community, and then
Yeah.
if you try to step outside of that, you're fake.
Yeah, fake. You're a traitor. You're one of them. But I just look at it like, you hate the police so bad. Imagine if there was no police for one day. Look what people do while there are cops. Like, if we're not out there, it'd be bad.
Well, what I learned was we were the problem.
Yeah.
Like all my homies, everyone, like we were the problem. Like
Right.
if the people living in these communities want the police.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was learning the police didn't show up on my block. They were called to my block
Yeah.
from people who live on the block. we were the problem.
Right.
I can admit that now, you know, because I can see
Yeah.
both sides of the token. I'm like, bro, like I was a fucking asshole.
Right. And I'm starting to see it now with these younger kids. Like, they just, there's like no respect. It comes back to parenting, I feel like. But
and I always approach it from a humble perspective because I was this kid, you know. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
look, dude, don't look at the badge, don't look at the uniform, don't look at the gun. Like, look at me as a man talking to you. Like, we're two men talking.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't even approach me at this level.
Right.
Like, come on, dude. You sucker. You're a sucker. You're fooling yourself.
And it's sad because I'm just like, this is like our future. You know?
Bro, these are future doctors, nurses, lawyers, everything we need for a society to run, you know.
Yeah.
You know, people making your food, people like this is the generation coming. I sure hope not. I mean, but it's tough. It's tough. How were you able to deal with that? Like, because some people don't like. I've had a couple of like, hey man, I want to join, but man, my family would hate me. I'm like, dude, you'd be a fucking phenomenal cop.
Right.
My family would hate me.
I think you got to get to a point where you just can't care what people think about you.
Easier said than done.
Like, I did care. Then I got to a point like, if you're doing good, they're going to talk. If you're doing bad, they're still going to talk. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm a successful man. You know, I have a career. If you're going to hate on me for that, then that's a personal issue for you then, you know. But
what's your goals for MMA? Like, you want to go pro?
I do want to go pro.
What steps are you taking for that? Is that something you're
Still
just looking to...
Still doing amateur fights till, you know, the coach is like, all right, you're ready to go. So just guide. I listen to them first, you know. They're the ones going to be like, yeah, you're ready. Yeah, you're not. So
you got to take that. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
If you're like, I want to go, and they're like, you ain't ready. Is that something you've run into yet?
They really don't say you're not ready. They're like, nah, I want to see you a couple more fights, you know.
You have a next fight lined up, or
looking at June, end of June, 247.
June 247?
Yeah, all my fights are through them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just bought their yearly subscription.
You
thing,
bought
so
the yearly.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and study you.
You have to.
I enjoy that. I bring people on here, and you know, at first I didn't want all MMA.
Right.
I'm like, you know, it's the same story, and then I sit with every one of you, and I'm like, everyone comes
different.
from it's like
Yep.
like you just like, I started with jiu-jitsu, I want to fight. Other people, it was a different experience, or some people do this because it's like a avenue of escape. Other people were like, UFC is my goal. I'm all in for the UFC, or I'm all in for this is a career. Like, it's crazy how the community is built, especially in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Like, you think all these people were like want to be fighters, or no?
Nope.
There's people who are accountants.
Yeah.
And they're like, I just it's good exercise.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you should compete. You would wipe the floor. No, it's not for me.
Right. Yep, they just like it.
Like, you're a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Like, don't waste it. And they're like, it's just not. But it's not for, like, that's not their
I know a couple
goal.
guys they're beasts on the mats, and they're just like, I don't think I could do that in front of people. I'm not knocking them. Like, it's definitely different. You know, it's a different atmosphere if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
So
how do you? Because when we were talking, you're like, you're a big advocate for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for that? Like, what's the question I'm trying to ask? Like, how do you push for that? Because I'm always like, part of this is to help people. Like,
yeah. So obviously, like, I see a therapist. You know, he's a good dude. He actually used to be a first responder, so that's why I went to him. When I first got on the job, like, if you mention you had a problem, like, oh, you're a bitch, like, suck it up. This is what police do.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, and I'm like, I saw a dead kid. Like, it's not normal. You know, I gotta go. That just plays in your head over and over and over again. It's like all this stuff that I seen through like my first couple of years is like, I've seen a lot. And reached out to him. I was like, am I gonna get in trouble? Because like I always thought like you lose your badge and gun, you did that shit. Or
people don't realize that you have to be more sane.
Yeah.
To acknowledge that and reach out for help than hiding it and burying it.
But coming up in policing, like the old heads, they'll fire you if you go see a therapist. And I'm like, why? You know? So I push it on people, and I tell people to come train because I think that helps. Like, I push training on all my coworkers. Hey man, come to the gym. No, you guys are gonna beat me up. I'm like, it's not like that. We don't do that. I'm not there to hurt you. You know.
We started a grappling club at my department, and like I can be a little.
That's actually that's a good idea. It's like all you guys. It's not like
Everyone's invited.
I get it. Like I get that coming to a gym new. Like I've been that guy, you know. But you guys are doing is actually smart because you're comfortable with each other already.
So I can come off abrasive.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm very passionate about something. And I'm very passionate about jiu-jitsu, and people get tired of it. But like, it gets so quiet.
Right.
You know, and I've talked about this in the past, but when I train, in any, like the noises, the distractions, all that stuff just like, it's like, oh, let's hang out over here real quick.
Yeah.
And then you get that like break, you know, and I preach jiu-jitsu because one, it's very beneficial for your job.
Oh yeah.
They're very beneficial for your family. Mm-hmm. Like, what use of you are you of a man? And this isn't just for men, but like, I'm looking at it from my lens. What use am I as a man if I can't defend the people I care about?
It's true.
That's a huge part of my role. Mm-hmm. And that's my community, my friends, my family. If you can't defend, and yeah, you have a gun, but now what? You're gonna shoot this dude who tries to grab your old lady at the bar? No. But like you don't have this confidence in you. Mm-hmm. You don't have a certain set of skills for you to approach this man and be like, "Yo, nah, we're not doing that."
Right.
And I've seen situations where the dude sits back.
Yeah.
And I have to be like, hold on.
Yeah, you got to step in.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. Which I don't mind doing that, but I'm like,
right.
I feel that's where I find my purpose, my use is like helping people and stuff. And another one is like the mental health aspect of it, man. Like you're in there, you're not worried about bills.
Right.
You're not worried about your relationship issues. You're not worried about what's going like because right now you're worrying about the dude trying to sink his arm around your neck or like, and you're moving, your body's moving. There's that physical health aspect of it, and it fully encompasses that. And people think I'm crazy, so we started this combatives club, and I can be abrasive. Yeah, you know, and I approach everyone. I'm like, look,
right,
I'm not here to hurt nobody, and like, our goal is not to hurt you. Our goal is not to embarrass you, like, because egos, right? Egos in policing. Oh, they're gonna see me vulnerable.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Right. But I made it very like, bro, like we're gonna go. We're a team, right? We're a team. We're just gonna roll. We're gonna get familiar with this. Like we're gonna show you some cool things that you can use, you can not use, you can adapt it. Like, and it's gonna be fun. We'll make it fun. Like we're not there to hurt you. We're not there, bro. Like 3 people came that weren't instructors. 3 people, but here's the caveat: 3 people I never would have expected to come.
That's a plus then.
I'm like,
yeah,
wow. And they're like, dude, that was awesome. I'm like,
it's the ego thing. People think you're gonna go there to like beat them up, but they also need it like rolling. Like they need humbled in a way. Like it's humbling. Not that you're trying to humble them.
I call it creating buy-in.
There you go.
Yeah, creative buy-in.
That's better.
You have to create the buy-in that show them this is a necessity that you should learn.
Right.
And I'll do that playfully, but it's like, so I had a guy that I was training. Fitness wise, and I was like trying to teach him, tell him to come to jiu-jitsu, and he's like, I don't need that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what would you do in this case? I'd black out. Okay.
That's what he said.
Yeah. He's like, I just black out. I'd see red and
tear the guy up.
I'm like, okay. Usually that's what I prefer when I'm fighting someone because I'm in a level headspace. I'm thinking clearly. Like,
right.
Obviously, if you're blacked out, you're not thinking at all. So I'm like, these are some things to consider. And he like started pushing the issue. Well, luckily we were in a matted room. I was like, all right, let's. I'll try what I know. You try what you know, and then we'll see. I was like, I had a little play knife. I was like, we're gonna put the knife in the middle,
right?
And we're gonna try to stab each other. I won't stab you hard. And that was like to him, he's like, what makes you think you're gonna?
Because I know.
So I say go, and I don't move. He grabs a knife. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, you got the knife.
Yeah.
Well, how does he run to me? Like, all the way up here.
course.
So I'm like, oh, like, normally I wouldn't, like, double leg someone in this situation.
Right.
Especially if they train. But I'm like, I see something happening. Bro, tear this dude up.
Right.
And I'm literally on top of him. I like have a knife pin, take the knife, and I just start writing my name on his chest. And he's like, get the fuck off, man. I'm like,
Mad.
take the knife.
Yeah.
Take the knife. And I fucking throw it and get off. And I'm like, I wasn't trying to be a dick, but like, do you see how easy it is?
Right.
And I'm like, there's dudes who train out here every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Or people out here trying to kill you. Like, there's people out here training to hurt people, take their things.
Yep.
Like, this is the world we live in.
Yeah, it's the truth.
And you're going to tell me you're going to black out to protect yourself.
Makes no sense.
You're a sucker, bro.
That's one thing I look for at work too. Like if I'm dealing with someone like on a domestic or like a traffic stop, I see that cauliflower here. I'm like, yo, like,
Let's resolve this like men. Let's talk about it.
yeah, because like obviously like that is a, you know, from doing that, like he knows what he's doing. You don't get those ears for no reason.
Bro, we just hired a kid, the nicest dude in the world, man. Fucking cauliflower
Yeah,
like this.
and you know.
And I always joke with him. I'm like, wow, I'll fucking smoke you. And he just goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, he would fucking wipe me out. Like that's your response to me? He knows what's in his bag.
Right.
Like, and I always joke with him. I'm like, yo, you coming to grappling club? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's you and me. He goes, all right, cool, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Remember the dudes though, man. You just gotta watch them.
Yeah, and you see him anywhere. It'd be like a dude in like a full Calvin suit, cauliflower. I'm like, man, they infiltrated everywhere.
Right. They are.
So, okay. You're seeing it. How long have you been seeing a therapist, if you don't mind me asking?
About over a year. Yeah.
How's that going? Like,
It's good.
good?
Yeah.
Would you recommend that to like,
Oh, absolutely.
like what do you think is the biggest issue for people who are on the brink of it? Like, they're like, man, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Like, what would you tell those people to push them over the line to go see someone?
Put your ego to the side. Admit that you need to talk to somebody. I think the first step's like denial, you know, like admitting, like, obviously not admitting like you need to talk about your problems. Because I think on our job and as men, just men personally, like when you grow up, don't cry, you know. But you're a man. You're
okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Walk it off.
Yep.
What you don't got to get anything specific. I don't want to pry or anything if you're not comfortable. What was that deciding factor for you of like, maybe I should sit in front of someone, a professional?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us guys, what we do is, I talk about it.
Right.
And it's when we're drinking.
Yep.
Or it's when we're in a setting with our friends and it's like, I feel like when it's that point, it's like it's overflow. Like you can't contain it anymore.
Can't contain it.
It's overflowing. And some people see that as like, I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the point for you where you're like, maybe I should go this direction?
Bad dreams, not sleeping. That's really what.
It's crazy you say that. I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
And this is a warning for the people who are listening and watching, because I'm going to go into a story. It's a little dark. In my last apartment, we had a call for a girl who jumped off her bed trying to hang herself.
Yeah.
And I get there and she's still alive.
Yeah.
She was 12. And I get there and like her neck is broke.
Mm-hmm.
And like the person I was with, he was a supervisor. He's like, hey dude, she's gone. That's just her body like fighting to stay alive. And the mom is there screaming, dude, help her, do CPR, do CPR, do CPR.
Right.
And he's like grabbing her and he's like, ma'am, let's come over here.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me like,
yeah,
to do CPR. And I'm like,
yeah.
So I go up to her and I'm like pretending to do CPR because now she's faded, you know, like her neck is broken. I'm like, no, I'm going to do CPR. I'm going to save her.
Right.
Like, I'm going to save her. That's what we're supposed to do. And I'm doing CPR. I'm really doing it now.
Right.
Medics come in and they come in, they pull me off. They're like, hey, like stop. I'm like, oh, we can't stop. Dude, and I got into this like cycle of like, no, I'm gonna save her. Like her eyes are open. Like,
Right.
like I see movement, and they're like, no, dude, like she's gone. And dude, that vision of
Yep.
that little girl. Like I've never told this. I haven't told this story to people, but we're on the topic of mental health and like the importance of opening up about that.
So I have a similar story.
I saw her face, dude, for years.
Yep. That's what made me get like every dream. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, this is like getting overwhelming, you know?
And then you get into that point of like, oh, what if I did something different, or what if?
Yeah.
So at that time, no one knows this. I did talk to a therapist about this. And it was one of those things where I was on shift. She was a local therapist at this place. I was on shift, and I saw her office. Like drove by her office.
Right.
And we used to have to do business checks at this.
I remember those. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do a business check. I parked the car. I walk in and I'm like, hey, can we help you, officer? Is there a problem? Like, no. I was like, and I won't say her name because it's going to give out a lot. We could talk about it after, but
Yeah.
I had read her name on the door. I was like, oh, is so-and-so in? Yeah, I can get her right now. And I was like, well, is she with a patient? I don't want to.
Right.
No, she's got the rest of the afternoon off. Like, I can go get her. I'm like, okay, cool. She comes out and I'm like, hey, she's like, what's going on? Can I help you? And I was like, I hope you can. And I don't know if she saw something in me, and she's like, come to my office.
Right.
And this is why I stress talking to a professional. Because I didn't feel like I was in a session.
I get you. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I go to her office, like if we're taking a call.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's talk over here. And then you take a seat. Oh, okay. You know, you sit down, you get your notebook out. She's like, come to my office. We go to her office. I sit down. And then she's like, yeah, so what's going on today? And when we get asked that on the job,
Right.
Nothing. And I was like, I see this girl's face everywhere. That's the first thing I said.
Yep.
And what girl? What? Nothing, dude. That wasn't her approach at all.
Right.
And she's like, tell me about this little girl.
Yeah.
And bro, next thing you know, I was at a business check for an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I felt this weight.
Yes.
Like of
That
just
too. Yeah.
like someone was sitting on my chest.
Yeah.
And like, well, compared to jiu-jitsu, that dude who weighs as much as I do, sitting on you.
Right.
And then the bell rings and they roll off, and that weight of relief where you're like, oh, the round's over, dude's off.
Right.
That's exactly what it felt like. Now I didn't know that feeling because I wasn't trained jiu-jitsu then, but that's what I can equate it to. And
Yep.
she goes, hey, just so you know, I do have a LEO like
Yep.
sessions that I do. They're once a month and they're free of charge. So I'm going to see you next month, right? I'm like, yeah. Like,
Yep.
sure. I went to her for a couple months. I did a couple sessions, and I was like, wow. Like, it was like 4. And I felt this relief.
Right.
This relief. And the thing that she taught me was like how to manage this stuff. How to apply this stuff when I'm not there.
Right.
And since then, obviously, I've seen a lot of things, crashes and domestics and mental health situations and stuff. And
Yeah.
dude, I still use those principles today.
Oh yeah.
Like people are like, oh, how are you? I'm good. How are
Right.
you? No, like I think I really am. Like some days are harder than others, and some days, and I'm guilty of this. I'll be like, should I? Nah, I don't need to. Like I'm
Right.
still guilty of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Right.
how do you push like your coworkers to go do that, or
It's an ego
it's
thing.
tough? Yeah, it's
hard.
tough.
It's like same thing, getting them to come train, just, I don't need that.
That's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Like you will talk to your friend about this who's not qualified,
Mm-hmm.
and usually when these conversations are happening, you're both drunk.
Right.
You're not clear-minded,
Yep.
and you won't trust someone who does this for a living, who has talked to many people in your situation and
Right.
found things that work.
Mm-hmm.
how do you get someone to, let's say it's someone you really care about.
Right.
They need to, how do you get them to drop that ego? Like what would be some advice?
Training. It's about me. I had an ego. Not like a big ego, but like we all have egos.
Yeah, for sure.
Going to a gym and training, like that went right out the window. You know? It's hard. Some people are just stuck in their ways. You know?
I'm just thinking out loud, like, hey, come with me. How do you think that would be taken?
I try that. Then you
You've
get
tried that?
then you get excuses. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm like, if you don't want to come, man, just tell me straight up. Like, you don't have to beat around the bush.
Yeah, like we're cool. Like, be
Yeah.
honest with me. I don't want to waste my time, keep asking, and I don't want to badger you. Like,
Or people are like, I'm like, come to the gym. Oh, I'll be there. Day comes, crickets. Oh, I slept in. All right, so come in next class. Crickets. I'm like, we're not gonna hurt you. We're here to help you. So
we're gonna be a team. Like, you're gonna be the guy. You're gonna be me.
yeah.
And that's what I tell people. If you start jiu-jitsu,
Yep.
for the most part, you're gonna become an addict.
Yeah.
Someone I've brought in,
Mm-hmm.
I've never had someone be like, well, I tried it. It was cool, but it's not for me.
Right.
I haven't had one person do it. Like, if they've taken the step to try it,
Yeah.
bro,
You like it.
there's a dude. So I've been a blue belt since not this December, but so over a year.
Mm-hmm.
No stripe. Like, I'm still fuzz patch blue belt.
Right.
But that's my fault too, because I should be training more. There's a kid who started after me,
Mm-hmm.
who's already got 2 stripes on his blue belt.
Hustling.
And I brought him in.
Yeah.
I brought him in, dude. I
loves
look at
it.
this dude from across the mat. I'm like, bro, I made you.
Yeah.
I didn't make him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude. Like, he's getting out here, and they're like,
Right.
and he's the one telling me, like, bro, like, when are we hitting up this class? And I'm like, damn, you're weird, bro. You're all about jiu-jitsu now. Like, you're weird.
Yep.
But it's a thing, man. Like, it's like people who start the gym
Yeah.
and like hit it, and then now they're like making gym talks and
Yeah.
Instagram reels of. It's like, bro, it's something that you just have to dive into, and
I'd
it'll catch
say
you.
getting out of your comfort zone, that's a big thing. Like, if you're comfortable where you're at, you're not going to change. You're comfortable there. You don't like the uncomfortable feeling. So I think that's a big thing too.
See, I hate comfortable.
Yeah.
You know why? Because being comfortable and progressing, like, those two things can't live in the same room.
Exactly.
They can't live in the same house.
Yep.
If you want to be better and push yourself, you're going to be uncomfortable.
Right.
And if you are comfortable, you can't be pushing yourself. It's like
Yep.
fire and water. You can't put a fire in a water. I'm sure there's some physics you can, but
Yeah.
and that fire stays lit. Like, those two things just don't mix. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Ooh, I'm sure that's a quote.
Yeah.
But it's true. That's the only way you will push yourself into a different realm. And if you want to do something,
Right.
if you want to be somewhere where you've never been, you got to do something you've never done.
Yep. That's fighting. Jiu-jitsu.
Dude, that whole thing is uncomfortable. Like, now you're doing jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
It's tough.
Yep.
It's hard. And you're like, oh, I want to throw punches too. It's like, that's a whole other realm of,
Yeah, it is.
like, I can't keep my hands on your hips to create space, because you're gonna elbow me in my face.
Yeah.
There's no ground and pound in PA, right? With elbows. Correct me if I'm wrong.
When you're pro.
Pro, yeah, but like not amateur.
I,
There's like a new advanced
advanced
now.
amateur.
Okay, yeah.
Which I qualify for my next fight. So I can ground and pound. So
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
You ready for that?
I've been waiting for that.
I love elbows, bro.
Yeah. I can't elbow. Just to the sternum and down.
Elbow someone in the sternum. Tell me if they want to keep fighting.
No, it's going to hurt.
Bro, your breath is gone.
Yeah.
There's been a few instances where I've had to defend myself. Straight for the elbow.
Yep.
Hey, bro, back up.
Yep.
My bad. They don't.
Yeah.
You don't see it coming, bro.
Right,
and
it hurts.
They're sharp,
Yeah.
man. It don't hurt me.
Yeah,
That's the
but
thing. You punch someone, it hurts. Like it hurts. There's
Yeah.
elbow, bro. That solid structure coming across your. I love violence.
I'll never forget I was sparring and I shot a single leg. Obviously, I got a big ass head. So, like, caught dude's elbow. That hurt so bad. Didn't even cut me open, but just the pain from that. I'm like, God damn. Like,
don't want to do that again.
it was like, gave me a starburst for a little bit. I'm like, damn, that hurt.
Well, elbows are no joke.
Yeah.
But that's that comfort. But it's not like now you're adding an additional layer to your fight toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
Like now you can, throw elbows and knees, and dude, it's like a whole. And that's the thing about.
Punch to the face on the ground.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. Like I love this shit. Dude.
Yeah.
I was watching 247 on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I was
driving.
doing. Yep.
Oh, God, I should have said that. Never mind. I was parked in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, dude, the Mateo fight, and I know you coming from certain area, the Lucas Siebert fight.
Yeah.
Bro.
I like Siebert.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I'm kidding. That's my dude. Bro, he just like...
He's another dude. People hate him, but...
People love to hate him.
He bets on himself.
They love to hate him. Like, he's one of the dude... And that podcast I had with him, the episode, opened up a whole new light on that dude for me. I'm like, dude, I feel you, bro. Like, if you can understand someone where they're coming from...
I love his style, though.
I hate it. It makes me nervous, dude. He's just like...
Yeah.
And it's like he tells him what he's about to do. He goes like this. He goes like, I'm going to punch you in the face. And then he punches him. And then he points like this. I'm going to punch you in the face. And then he punches him. Then he goes, oh, I'm going to spin. And I'm like, he's so relaxed, bro. He's so relaxed. That fight, dude, there were so many fights where I'm just like, oh, dude, you know what's crazy about this Lucas Siebert fight? The dude started like kicking his knee.
Yeah.
Bro, my knees were hurting. Like
that flying knee was crazy though. That shit was wild. I was like, God.
You know what that reminded me of?
Yeah.
Masvidal.
Oh yeah, Ben Askren. Yeah.
That's literally what I thought. I'm like, this motherfucker just.
Yeah, that was wild. I was like, damn.
Dude,
talented kid, man.
He was drilling that.
Yeah.
The fucker called it.
Yeah, he did.
That's fucking wild.
He calls a shot. You gotta respect it. I don't know how you can hate it.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
What's in the future for you?
If we make the retirement.
You see that as a long haul. This is your.
I mean, depends how fighting goes. But I don't know, man. It's kind of. I do love fighting. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it's my new, like my girlfriend.
I'm sure she hates it.
Yeah, we're never home. This and that. I'm like, listen, like I got some stuff to take care of.
Just got stuff I'm gonna make that into a T-shirt. Yeah. Got stuff to take care of.
Yeah, she gets it though.
Bodies need to hit the floor.
Yeah, she doesn't. Like when I fight, she's a nervous wreck.
Yeah, my mom never came to any of my fights. Nobody came to any of my fights. My gym guys did. Like, no friends, no nothing. They're like, nah, bro. And I was a ghetto street dude back in the day. So like, nah, dude. Then we got to catch him after.
Right.
Like, bro, we willingly signed up for this. Like, chill. Nah, bro. Like, all right, bro.
It's sanctioned fighting.
Like
you said, I signed a dotted line just like he did. Yeah. So it is.
And then we looked at each other and we're like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, but so you see yourself doing a 20 and out, 25 and out?
We'll see. Things can always pop up.
Oh yeah, but like right now in your life, JT.
Mm-hmm.
What does JT want to be, bro? I'm a rap star. You can't be me.
I mean, I'm always pushing myself to do new things. So,
what do you do for fun?
I'm a homebody, man. I don't drink.
What's your Netflix show?
Netflix?
See? Knew you had one.
But it's off now. I was on Ozark, then the ending kind of made me mad. So,
Bro, I've started that show 3 different times.
Like the whole season?
No, like I've started it and made it to different parts and stopped.
What season you on?
So I don't know what season I'm on, but I the last thing I remember, they moved to
the lake house.
And there was like dead animals.
Yep. You gotta keep watching it, man.
I didn't make it far enough.
No.
Okay.
No. We're not even close.
So you gotta make it through the first. That's probably like episode 2.
I'd say my main show back in the day was Power. Would you watch Power?
Power. I've heard of that.
You never watched it?
I've never watched it.
You're in for a treat.
Power is which one?
It's 50 Cent show.
50 Cent show. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone said that's on Max now, right?
You gotta watch it. It's on Hulu too.
It's on Hulu now.
It's man.
I'm on that Love Is Blind right now.
Come on, there's no way this is for real.
Bro,
Are you for real? You watch this to laugh?
Start it. Yes. So I was gonna start it. It's background stuff, but start it so you can see the fucking drama, bro.
You like that?
It's just funny to me.
Is it like Jersey Shore drama?
Yeah, it's like you're just like
that show is funny as
you
hell.
idiot.
Yeah.
Like I think Jersey Shore. I just heard a commercial for a new season coming out.
Oh man,
Bro, Jersey Shore is probably the longest running TV.
I just watched it for Ronnie and Sam.
That
was comical.
I get confused for Ronnie all the time.
Yeah,
I'm in Florida. This is a true story during COVID. I'm in Florida, and some dude who I still text to this day, cool ass dude. Shout out Ed. He don't listen. He's an old head. But I'm in the pool, and some dude comes up to me and he's like, I'm like, oh, what's up? My wife, can I see your teeth? I'm like, what? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. My wife told me to come over here. She thought you were Ronnie, but she said Ronnie has like what the fuck do they call him? I'm having a brain fart.
I don't know.
That the nice teeth. Veneers. Damn, I'll have to edit that out. Nah, raw.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, he's got veneers, and I just wanted to see if you had veneers, but no, she said you look like Ronnie. And then as this happened the day before, some like 300 fucking pound juice head was yelling, Ronnie. I'm like, fuck out of here. This dude's like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
He comes up to me, he's like, don't you fucking hate when people call you that? I get called that all the time. I'm like, why would you fucking call me that then?
Right.
So, and then the next day this happens. I'm like, no, not Ronnie. Not Ronnie. He's like, oh, and then we start talking, and, we're cool now. But like, everywhere I go, Ronnie, bro. I'm like, I don't look nothing like Ronnie.
Right.
Like one dude's, Paulie D's here this Saturday.
Really?
That ass at the casino.
Man, he has to be old now, though.
I just learned that.
How old is he? He's just in his 40s.
Probably 38, 39.
Damn. All that tan caught up to him, though.
Who gives a damn? That dude DJs pool parties in Vegas and then Barcelona. And like, you could be bright orange and dude's killing it, man.
You're right. He's making money. I respect it.
Making money DJing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a DJ. I'm not like that creative.
Right. You definitely got to have like creative and like entertain at the same time.
Yeah, entertaining part I got down, bro.
Yeah.
I'm off. People think they know me because of this podcast, but like,
yeah,
bro, I'm a fool. I'm always dancing. Like, I'm sure you'll catch a video. I post it on my Instagram, on my stories here and there. But like, bro, I'm just like in my own world all the time. Like, and people are just living in it. I like that fun. I like making people laugh. We're trying to make people laugh, but I'm not creative.
Right.
Like to create these mixes, I'm like, dude, I
give it.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think of it first.
Right.
So you want to make it a career, MMA, making that a career too, 2 careers.
Yeah, I like how it's going right now. So just filling it out.
You signed any paper yet, or for June?
No, probably like mid-April. I'll probably sign something.
You think are there any matches for you? Like
wherever they send, I just sign.
Damn,
yeah,
dog, bro.
It's amateurs. I'm not.
Still.
I ain't Conor McGregor.
Still. Send them.
Yep.
Watch them fall. So, we've talked about a lot of stuff. What are some key takeaways you have for people listening? Because I'm sure you're going to have, your folks or your homies or your homegirls, or I don't know if you're allowed to have homegirls.
Nah.
No, I'm sorry.
I have a Latino girlfriend, so.
No homegirls?
No homegirls.
Got it?
Yeah.
So, like, what are some key takeaways, some messages you want to tell folks? Like, something about you, like, what to expect next? What are some goals you have? Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. That's what we do. We had an easy conversation. I got to throw some challenge your way.
I don't know. I was like a quiet dude, though, man. That's a hard question.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But that's good.
I'm like this nonchalant. Like, I just stay in my circle.
That's cool, though, because when I creeped on you, 'cause I got to do background. I can't just come in here cold, or we'd just be staring at each other.
It's our job. It's just
Yeah,
natural instinct. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me get this dude's vibe. You fight. Usually those people are like out there. And then the more I did this, the more I learned they're not. They're most reserved.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool. Like this dude's it. And then usually real chill, laid back.
Yeah. I wasn't really raised like that. If I started doing like out of character stuff, my phone's gonna ring, Mom. Fuck you doing? Like I didn't.
Does she have your socials? She follow you on social?
Yeah, it's my mom.
Oh, my mom.
Yeah.
My mom just got it.
Yeah, if I posted something crazy, like
My mom just got it. I don't even know if she knows how to work it yet. So I'm like, I'm still safe.
That or my girlfriend, if I act out of character, she's like,
what is you doing?
Yeah.
It's good to have people who would check you though. I think a lot of issues arise when we don't have that person or that group to like keep us in line. And I don't mean that in the sense of like do what I say, but in line of like who you are, what your morals are, and that's when you get people like just being all out. You know what I mean? Like
I always appreciate those people that check me because like if I didn't have it, like I'd be an asshole every day. Like wouldn't care. Someone checks you, like how you react to that tells me a lot. You're gonna get defensive and mad, or you're gonna be like, yeah, like I was fucking up.
It's hard to self-reflect.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah.
But a skill is being able to step back and being like,
yeah,
hold on.
Yep.
Like why was this said?
Mm-hmm.
And then directing it to yourself and being like, let me self-analyze real quick. Because the first thing people want to do is like swat it away and shoot back.
Yep.
And then that's where you go, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's with anything in life. In coaching.
Yep.
Hey bro, keep your hands up, or you were lazy here. Like,
mm-hmm.
Nah, I was good. Or I got it. Bad attitude to have in fighting.
Especially in between rounds of fights, like you're just getting it. Like you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. Like fix your shit. Like you're fucking up.
That's a That's a perfect example. Yeah,
Yep.
in between rounds, like you can take it as they're attacking me,
Right.
or these are the things I need to hone in on right now.
Right now.
Because they don't have time to go, hey, bro, you did great.
Nope.
You look amazing. Your conditioning is sweet. It's like, get to the shit I need to fix.
Yeah.
So I hear it, man. Like when I'm at 247 or when I'm watching online, like the coaches are like, because they're amped up. Yeah. You need to do it. You're dropping this.
Right.
Go out there. His legs are like, you're like, how do you take all that in? Like you're just.
Oh, it's hard. Because like your adrenaline's so high, like you're just punched in the face for 2 or 3 minutes. If you're good, you don't get hit. But obviously you took some damage, and like in a way, like when they're talking to me, like I know it's out of like good faith and love at the same time. But I'm getting yelled at. They just know like I'm better than what I'm showing. Like clean that shit up. Like we don't.
It's a good way to put that.
I always go back and watch my fights, and like I get mad at myself. I'm like, I don't train like that. Why was I doing that? Like I'm better than that. That's the worst part of rewatching a fight. Like, man, I see why they're yelling at me. Like, look what I'm doing. But sometimes like bad habits, especially when you're tired. Like, oh man, when you're tired, you get very complacent because like trying to survive. Happens.
You see the truth in someone when they're exhausted.
Yep.
In anything, in the line of work, if you don't sleep right,
Yeah.
if you eat like poop and you were out all night or drinking all night, you show up to work, someone, that first call, I want to report a fraud.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
No.
we all
It's
been
like,
there. Yeah.
I get it. I've been there too, but it's like
You got to do it though.
that's a reflection of like something's going on,
Yep.
and it's that mental preparation of making sure you're good, making sure you're set, how you respond to stuff. Like you said, you're getting chewed up in these corners and stuff, or
It's always
a friend of you comes like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think in the corner, like I'm always respectful. Like honestly, yes sir, no sir. Like that's how I treat my coaches because I look up to them.
You would have to.
I'd
be like, got you next week.
Yeah. Then I look at it like they're putting all this time into me to prep me for this. Like the last thing I want to do is let them down. So when you're coaching, like your fighters are a product of what you're putting out there. So you don't. I see both sides.
Yeah, and you're showcasing.
Yeah.
what's been poured into you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, like, especially now that I'm older and like can think of like
Yeah.
how my mom, I was a bad kid. I respect her so much
Right.
now, and I try to reflect
Same.
what she poured into me because, single mom, working multiple jobs, like, and I completely took advantage of that.
Yeah.
And like as an adult, I can never repay her enough for what she's done for me.
Yep.
Or like, good friends, like,
Yeah.
and that's why I try to be the way I am. It's like so many people, I've had the benefit of so many people pouring into me.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a complete disrespect
Same.
for me to just throw that out, And the older I get, the more I realize how important that is.
I definitely realized it like when I was a kid. Like my mom was really strict. Like when the light came on the street, like you better be in the house, And
We had that too.
like don't leave the yard.
It's like flickering. You're like, nah.
Yeah. Then I look back at it. I'm like, at the time, I'm like, damn, I can't do nothing. My mom was always strict. Like then I look back at it to like now, like people I grew up with, arrested, shooting, drugs. I'm like, now I see why you were so strict on me, because it's very easy to go down a path, influenced. You get the wrong crowd. There you go, you're done.
Why did you leave that environment? Like, so I left Erie
Yeah.
for a multitude of reasons. And when I go back to visit, like the homies are on the same block,
Right.
doing the same things. You go to the bar, same people at the same bar, sitting on the same damn stool.
Still like that now.
That gets crazy, and it's crazy how time works. I had this conversation with someone in Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about space.
Yep.
And I'm like, did you know, like, if I traveled from the Earth
5
5 years out and came back, people on Earth would be like 70 years old. And this dude was like, well, yeah, distance doesn't equate to time. He was like, he went off
on it.
and then he compared it to this. He goes, think about this. If you grow up in a certain place and you leave, and you've progressed so much because you've taken yourself out of the environment, you've pushed yourself for this, and then you come back and those people are the same because time has not worked the same for these people as it did. I'm like,
It's the truth. Yeah.
bro, I thought you were crazy, but you actually make sense. And I noticed that. I left Erie, come here, I'm pushing, I'm trying to, do my thing.
Yeah.
And then I come back and time has been different for me versus the people still doing the same things and having broken out of that cycle.
Right.
And that distance, that from that
Yep.
source, I probably sound crazy.
No.
I'm sitting here looking at the hair of myself. I sound
No,
crazy.
no, because like my current law enforcement job, I was 3 hours away from home for 2.5 years. I got to come back home and work. Same what you just said. Same people, same barstool, same people don't have a job. Same bums I know that I hate to know, but they're my friends, gotta know them. I was looking at them like, but you're like 29, you have no job, you just had a kid or have kids. Like, what are you doing at a bar, bro? Like, go get a job. And like, that's why when I say I'm a homebody, like, that's why I don't go out, because I refuse to be around that type of stuff. I can't associate with someone that's like that. It's just going to bring me down. I don't like that. So I just keep to myself.
They say you become the people you hang out with.
It's the truth.
You hang out with people constantly pushing themselves, and that's why I love that I did this podcast, because I get to talk to people I would have never met you, bro. Think about this. I would have never met you.
Yeah, you're right.
Ever.
Maybe we'd have crossed paths working.
But will we sit down and have a conversation?
Nope.
Life is crazy.
It is.
And then everyone I've sat across from, I'm like, that's dope.
Yeah.
I can connect with you. Like, who I probably would have never, like Isaac. I don't think I'd have ever sat down with Isaac and had a conversation. Not over dinner, not over
Right.
a business meeting, nothing. I got to sit across from Isaac. Dude blew my mind. That's a whole separate conversation.
Right.
Like, life works in mysterious ways.
It does.
And I appreciate you for driving 55 minutes.
Wasn't bad.
Good. We'll stay with that so I feel less bad.
Had my Dr. Dre on coming down. So
He was ready. He was prepped.
it was.
So where can people, if they want to know more about you or follow your journey, see where you're going to be, where can people follow you at?
Mostly Instagram.
IG or?
Yep. I'd say IG's really taken over.
What's your Instagram handle? You don't want to share? You don't have to. I don't know if that's fine. Follow the Relentless Project, and then I'll be posting a lot of him shorts and stuff. Damn, I just put him fast. He looked at me like, bro, no, we're good.
I mean, sir,
this is raw, bro. You don't got to put on. Nah, you're good.
All right.
If you want to know more about JT, obviously follow the Relentless Project. RELENTLESSPRJCT. Relentless Project. Dude, I'm having a brain fart. It's late.
I need one of those
You got
hats.
a damn Red Bull.
Dude, give me one of
So
those.
funny you mentioned the hat.
Yeah.
We're gonna end it this way. A plug on myself.
All right.
I've been trying to get a merch line up, and here's the interesting part. I've been hitting up local Pittsburgh people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not right now. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, all right, cool. Like, I don't want to source something off the internet.
Right.
Like, I want to keep everything local. Like, the whole point of this podcast is to elevate people around me and give them a platform, as small as it is. It's going to grow.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, a platform to, like, give your shout outs, to do whatever. Like, I want to see everyone around me grow. So I want to involve as many people as I can. Not one person has come back.
That's crazy, man.
So I'm going to go online.
Because
I've had a couple people ask me, like, that's something I do want to do, you know, like, and another thing I'd like to do is partner with people, you know, you got a next fight, we'll figure something out, boom, you know, Relentless Project XJT, you know, or whatever.
Smart.
Like, a lot of people have been asking me, so, and then now you just mentioned, I got to drop it. I'm going online. I'm getting it dropped, but I got some cool ass designs though.
I'm hyped.
So I design all my own stuff. I do graphic design.
Okay.
So like I just be in my computer at home, just like
Banging it out.
and dude, I'm like, I can't launch 50 items. So it's like, because that's how, dude, design safe.
Right.
So, you know, the hat, a hoodie, t-shirt, we'll start small.
All right.
Well, bro, I appreciate you for jumping on. This is
Thank
JT on the Relentless Project, and we're out.
Thanks.
Later.